Today's podcast episode is sponsored by
Michael and Michelle Lassen, First State Bank Mortgage, Equal Housing Lender.
Visit us on our website at yourlakeloan.com. We want to be your home loan professionals, your lake lenders.
coming back for more of Season 6 with our Grow, Thrive, Inspire podcast. A podcast created to help you both personally and professionally to thrive with clear goals and visions and to inspire. So whether you're a full-time resident here at the lake or a visitor or hope to be either in the future, we're sure you're going to love this episode as much as we do. Today on the show, we are excited to talk about a local organization that continuously gives back to our community in a huge way. Here to shed some more light on this organization and upcoming events are my good friends, Mr. Ron Dodge with Ron Dodge Real Estate Group and Mr. Jacob Krantz with the Krantz & Associate team. Ron and Jacob, thank you so much for being avid fans of our show, great friends of mine, and allowing me to take some time to highlight all that you guys are doing. I'm super excited to talk about the Community Foundation and everything that we have planned. There's a lot happening. So,
Well, Kaylin, thanks for having us. I love the podcast and I love being part of it, so thank you very much.
Of course.
Yeah, I can only reciprocate what Ron says there. It's awesome to see what you do, and it's a fun group to be around, that's for sure.
It is.
So I want to kind of start with, just like we always do, kind of telling our listeners just a little bit more about yourselves and kind of where you found the passion to kind of do what you do. So Jacob, why don't we start with you?
Yeah, so my name's Jacob Krantz. I am Jeff and Melissa Krantz's son. I've been involved in this organization and a part of RE/MAX down here at the lake for quite a while now. Kind of grown up through the brokerage, and it's been, something growing up I didn't necessarily think I was going to be a part of. But as time goes by and as I learn more and more about the business, it's something that I've came to love, and it's been really cool. So.
What about you, Ron?
Well, I've been with RE/MAX going on 4 years now, and love RE/MAX Lake of the Ozarks. Big advocate, sell it all the time. But I come from a career at UPS for 35 years, so I've got a little bit of business background. But I've been blessed my whole life with opportunities. And I think it's important when you get opportunities that you help other people with opportunities as well.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. I love that. And gosh, I mean, from my perspective, like you guys saying how long you've been here now, it just seems like yesterday to me, because I remember when you both came on. So I'm super happy that you guys are here. But I want to transition a little bit because today's episode, we're focusing on the Charitable Foundation. So Ron, I kind of want to start with you. Talk to me a little bit more about just RE/MAX Lake of the Ozarks Charitable Foundation. It was founded in 2011. We have raised and hit our goal of over $500,000 in local grants. So what exactly is that number that we're at now?
Well, as you mentioned, we started in August of 2011, so a little over 12 years, going on 12 years, and we're currently at $554,471.
Wow.
Amazing.
How amazing is that?
Yes.
Wow, just over here. So what are your current positions on the Charitable Foundation, and who are kind of some of the other members now? Because it's a board, correct, that runs it?
That's correct.
Yeah. Personally, I'm just kind of a chairman. I know that we've got, 6 members right now total?
I believe that's accurate.
Yep, we've got Sophia Marr, you, of course, Bruce Phillip, Abby Bogema, and then
Lori.
Yep, and Christina. She helps
Natalie.
out a ton. Yep.
That's awesome. Wow, it seems like you guys are always meeting regularly, trying to come up with new ways to give back to our community with this organization. So I love everything about it. For our listeners who may not know about our foundation, how do our donations work within our company?
Well, our revenue comes from our agents. For the most part, we do have some community fundraisers and whatnot, but I would say 95% of our funds come from our agents. Mm-hmm. We've got a group of giving agents that willingly participate with every closing, giving a portion of their closing back to the community. Mm-hmm. And the group effort makes $554,000 possible.
This is unbelievable,
Yeah.
unbelievable. What about organizations who may be interested in receiving a donation or getting something back from the community foundation? How does that work?
Yeah, so we deal with mostly local organizations, almost strictly. We try and keep it as local as possible. Always try and help closest to home. The majority, if almost all, really all of them are coming from 501c3 organizations. So it's purely charitable, not-for-profit, and they apply for a grant. They can reach out to Christina at the main for that. Basically kind of detailing what they are going to use the funds for, what their organization is, and basically almost pitching the idea to us. And then we kind of meet together, review the grant, see if it's something that is, not only within our budget, but within our means, and, see if that's something that we want to pursue.
Love it.
And I agree. I mean, and you mentioned Christina, but I think they could come to any RE/MAX Lake of the Ozark agent, and we can get them the grant request, or they can go to buy@lakeoftheozarks.com, and on the Charitable Foundation tab, they can pull down the grant request as well.
And then there's also a Facebook page too, right? For the Charitable Foundation. I think it's like, what is it? RM Lotto Charitable Foundation or something.
Yep,
Okay,
that's
awesome.
correct.
Well, what are some big things that the Charitable Foundation has coming up? I know we do like a lot of kind of events. So what does that look like?
Well, I know we've got March Madness coming up, which is one of our additional fundraisers amongst, the agents given each closing. And then we also obviously have the clown tournament coming up very quickly, and that's always a blast and raises a ton of money for the community.
Yeah, that'll be really awesome. That's going to be on April 29th. We're changing up the format a little bit, but it's a really cool organization. We're going on our 39th year of it.
Wow.
So it's been kind of passed down and grandfathered into our hands now, but it's really cool. It raises money for the Dream Factory. We help really sick kids make their dreams come true. So it's pretty special.
Well, that's awesome. And speaking of the clown, I wanted to expand on that a little bit more. So I have never personally been to the clown golf. So can you kind of tell me or our listeners kind of a little bit more of what happens at that event, and then how people get involved and just why they should go to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So really, it's a whole weekend deal.
Okay.
The first event, I should say, is on Saturday. That's going to be our silent and live auction. We get a bunch of great local donations and some others from out of town, involving RE/MAX. We start at 4:00. We'll have some different contests and games that you can, buy into. I know we're going to have a competition to where you can hit the clown. We had that a couple years back, so we're going to be bringing it back.
Oh, cool.
That starts. And then on Sunday, we have the actual tournament. It's an 18-hole tournament. It's going to be a 4-person this year. We've kind of had to adjust some of the costs with the rise of inflation and making everything, a little more expensive. I'm sure we're all feeling that, but it's something with the sign of the times. We're trying to raise as much money for the kids as we can.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
With the 4-person, is
Yep.
it just going to be one team per hole, or are you going to have 2 4-person teams per hole?
It'll depend. We've been working with Ryan Manziel out at Osage National. He's unbelievably great to us. We've had the event out there for as long as I can remember.
Yeah, they do a great job.
Yeah, so I think we'll have, I want to say it's about 36 teams right now total. So I think we're doing maybe, I think it's maybe 2 per hole.
Yeah,
just
good
trying
deal.
to increase the involvement and make it fun.
Now, if you need more teams, you can still get on as a team as well, correct? Would they just contact you to do that? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
absolutely. We're getting our website kind of dialed in right now, so it's not quite ready yet. Don't run to the presses yet, but it should be ready within the next week or so. You can contact me directly, 573-480-6132, or anybody really at RE/MAX. They all know who to kind of talk to, and
Awesome.
not only do we do teams, but we also got whole sponsors. We've got 4 or 5 different levels of sponsorships that if you're a local organization, we'd love to have you and get you some more business and really help the kids. So,
Absolutely.
I love it. Could you tell me, in your experience, Jacob, how many kids are we talking about as far as impacting? I mean, if you had to guess, there are quite a few that were making these dreams come true. So it's just, expanding a little bit more for our listeners.
yeah, so we shoot for 10 kids each. The dreams are getting more and more expensive. And of course, we want to help as many as we can. Really for a single dream, you're looking at about $7,500. So we try and raise as much money and get as much kids' dreams fulfilled as we can. I remember even one year when I was younger, this tournament's kind of near and dear to my heart just because ever since about 12 or 13 with my mother running it, I also helped, whether, I played or not, I was always a part of it. It's really cool to see. We were able to, helped a young girl when I was about 14 go to Kansas City, and she got a box stadium and got to see it with her whole family.
That's
and it's
so cool.
It's really heartwarming, and it's something, we can help as much as we can with the bills and everything like that, but I think what gets neglected during those tougher times is how they're doing mentally and what kind of experiences that they have. And especially in our case, we meet a lot of kids who, may not have a ton of time left. So for them to have that memory and to have, for the families to have something that they can, go back to and relate to is really special.
It's huge.
Yeah.
So remind me again when that date is for?
So that's going to be April 29th.
April 29th.
Yep, and we'll be Saturday and Sunday. Saturday we start at 4, then we usually tee off about 9, and it's really cool, because you're going to have appetizers and drinks the night before with a ton of entertainment. You're going to have some live auction items that you're really not going to be able to get anywhere else. We're working on a couple really special ones, so you have to come out and see.
I love that.
And then we get breakfast. You get a $100 tea gift to Osage National Pro Shop, and you get a lot of value with it too. So not only are you helping your kids, but you've got a good bang for your buck there.
And it's a great time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I hope we have great weather for it. That would be awesome.
Fingers crossed. We've only ever gotten rained out once, knock on wood, but so far so good.
I love it.
Get them all in.
Yeah.
So, getting back to some more kind of events that the Charitable does, is there anything after Clown that comes later on in the year or anything that's special too?
Well, we're talking about doing the hot summer nights.
Okay.
Going out, and we've done it the past couple years. It's more to raise awareness for our charities, and that's our biggest focus is trying to raise awareness for RE/MAX Charitable Foundation, but also for the organizations that we support.
Absolutely.
Because there's a lot of need in our community, and the more people that know about the need, how to give to those charities and those organizations, we're doing a better job at promoting our community and helping our community.
That's fantastic.
So we're talking about hot summer nights, setting up a booth. We'll get some huggers made. We'll just throw some cold water in it and just ask for donations. But the biggest thing is just getting the word out about our charitable foundation.
That's really cool. And you guys still do kind of some volunteer work at the shootout and things like that as well, right?
We're still talking about that. I'm not sure exactly what we have planned for that, but we have in the past. We've helped with parking and helped with the shootout. Yeah.
Super cool. So, getting back to the foundation, just a couple more questions. Is there anything that would really help the foundation right now?
Well, like I mentioned, I think the biggest thing for our foundation and for the community is just raising awareness, getting out in front of the people, letting them know that we have this charitable foundation, and what we do for the community. I think, the more you're given, the more is expected of you. And the fact that we're out there, we're very fortunate. And the fact that we're out there promoting our community and these charities that we work for, because we do work for these charities, that I think will boost our charitable foundation, help make it stronger, but also raise awareness for the community.
Absolutely, yeah.
And like you said, being able to donate over $500,000 over the last 12 years, that's a lot. And we really have left an impact, which is good. But like you said, there is a ton of need in our community. And it's something that I feel like, we're kind of spoiled here at the lake. You see all the fun, see all the boats and all that fun stuff. But there's a lot of people who need a ton of help. And all the funds in the Charitable Foundation go back to the charity. So raising awareness, raising notoriety, getting as much donations as we can is really crucial.
Yeah, I love that. So what are some of your favorite things about the Charitable Foundation this year over maybe previous years?
That's a tough question. It's always been good. It's always good to leave a positive impact. But I think this year it seems like, we've got a really cohesive crew, I think. Not saying anything about the past years, but I think it's only getting better and better as time goes on. We're establishing more of a footprint. Just looking forward to doing more events and getting more involved and being more public. That's one thing I feel like, you can kind of miss what we do. But as we're gaining popularity and gaining, just a presence, it seems like the effect is just snowballing and it's getting bigger and bigger every year.
Yeah.
Super cool.
I also think that our agents are even getting more excited about it, because previously there would be a baseline amount that is suggested to give each closing, but there's more and more agents that are stepping up and going above and beyond what
awesome.
the minimum request is, and obviously that makes a bigger impact for the community.
Well, I love to hear that because it is such a great way for our agents to say, hey, we're here, we're a part of this. This thing is bigger than us, and it's our way of giving back to the community, which I think a lot of people look for avenues for that. But I was really surprised when I was digging deeper into our foundation that there aren't a lot of avenues out there that like our foundation provides, as far as the opportunity and all of the places that we're involved with as far as giving back. So I think it's really, really just hats off to you guys for making that happen because not a lot of other organizations are able to. So that's really, really cool. So getting back to you guys a little bit personally, last question, a little bit of rapid fires for you like we do every season. So Ron, I'm going to start with you. What or where is an area of growth that you want to experience right now in either personal or professionally?
Well, I think my area of growth is both because I've been getting busier as I've progressed in my career. And work-life balance, I think, is important not only for my family, because, it's easy to be in the middle of something and the phone rings and you immediately want to answer it because the other side of it, you want to provide great customer service for your clients, so you want to be available for them. So just figuring out the work-life balance, is the biggest area of opportunity for me.
That's great. I love that.
Yeah, and I'm 100% with it. I've grown up in the business, but I've only been licensed for a year and a half. So, you see it from one side as a little kid growing up with parents who are in it, and then you see it from the other side, and it's an interesting perspective because you understand sides of both. So I definitely agree about the work-life balance. Obviously, you want your professional career and your personal, well-being to be as good as possible, which is always good. I'm a little bit younger, so I can sacrifice a little bit more time, but at the same time, you've got to kind of respect your boundaries on both cases and still give the best experience that you can to your clients.
Yeah, and you've had some good role models to follow.
Yeah.
I'm sure that your mom and dad have to do that.
Right.
And they're probably really good at it, which is good for you to learn from them. I'm trying to figure my way and figure it out. So yeah, so it's important. You're right.
Yeah, I've been pretty lucky to see it. So.
Learn how to pivot.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so coming to you first now, Jake. Where is an area where you feel you're currently thriving?
Well, I am a big fan, a big proponent of just a positive mindset. So the fact that you get to wake up every day, I watched a podcast on YouTube, and it was an interesting one. The speaker said to the
Guest.
Yeah, to the guest, they said, what would you do with $10 million right now? What would that be like? And they're like, oh, well, this is awesome. They said, well, what if I give you $10 million and you couldn't wake up tomorrow?
Oh.
Well, I don't want the money. And having that, attitude of gratitude and realizing how important every day is, I think is a big thing. And then just, being able to, grow your business and grow your referral base and give good experiences is really a big thing because with selling homes and selling condominiums, not only are you dealing with somebody's largest asset, but you're also dealing with somebody's, potentially their childhood home.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's not a small thing, even outside of the money. So being able to, be involved in that and, provide a good experience, a comfortable experience is something that's pretty special.
I love that. What about you, Ron?
I would say personal life, I'm thriving as a pawpaw.
Heck yeah.
Got two granddaughters.
So
I'm loving
cute.
that.
They're so cute.
They are sweet. Professionally, I think my business is starting to thrive. I've got a little bit of traction, start getting repeat customers, referrals from prior clients. So I'm thriving that way business-wise, but personally, which to me is very important as well, is I'm thriving as a pawpaw.
I love that. I love that.
That's awesome.
Okay, last one, guys. What inspires you?
Well, if I see somebody helping an elderly person in a parking lot at Walmart put their groceries away or something, that inspires me. If there's a youth in need and somebody's mentoring that youth in need, that inspires me.
Small acts of service.
Small acts of service.
Love that.
Because I think it ripples out further than we even understand. Even a small, sometimes a line at McDonald's, I'll have a group of elderly folk behind me. I'll buy their meal.
Oh, I love
and
that.
And just drive on. Don't say anything. But for the rest of their day, they're probably going to talk about that and may do something for somebody else.
That reminds me of, when we were just at conference, how Jared James was talking about how words matter, and you can literally impact somebody's day both negatively or positively with what you say. And so to me, that kind of goes along the lines of that. I love that.
Because you never know what somebody's going through.
No, never. What about you? What inspires you, Jake?
Oh, man. I think there's really not one thing that I can necessarily put a finger on. I think it's really kind of the whole thing. This whole company is what kind of pushes me forward. We've got great leaders. Like I said earlier, I've been lucky enough to kind of live underneath the same roof as some. But even if you look past that, Jason and Natalie, they do a ton.
Mm-hmm.
They are happy people, and they are, they're successful in everything. And being able to have those role models, it's just really special. You can see it seems like sometimes, especially getting started out in business, you don't think that you can leave that much of an impact. But when you look back on the timeline and everything that we've been able to do, you can do a lot, and it's very possible. So that's pretty inspiring.
Yeah, it's amazing how much positivity can breed more positivity. I mean, it's like
a ton here at Remax.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Every time I walk into the building, it's like,
I know. Love it. I love it. Well, Ron and Jacob, thank you so much for being on our Grow, Thrive, Inspire podcast today. It was a pleasure to learn more about you and your business and just everything about the Charitable Foundation. Listeners, make sure that you come to the Clown event. We definitely want to support that event and bring more awareness to our local organizations that we give back to, and we would love you guys to be a part of that. So if they're interested in the Charitable Foundation or would like to contact you guys or get involved or just ask for a grant request, anything, how would they do that?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, Jacob mentioned, they can get with any Remax Lake of the Ozark agent, and we'd be happy to get them a copy of the grant request. Or they can go to buyatlakeoftheozarks.com. There's a tab on the top right that says Charitable Foundation. Click on that, and then they can download the grant form from there as well.
Awesome. Well, if you haven't already, you can still find us on all of the platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, just all of them. Or you can go to our website, growthriveinspirepodcast.com, and like and follow our pages if you want to catch more about what's happening at the lake, more with our season, more with just anything we have going on with Remax, and just everything that we got going on. So we hope that you hit that like and subscribe button and just keep following our adventures. And remember to always grow, thrive, and inspire, and we'll catch you next time.